And here we go! Match number 4. Hello, everybody. It is Hot Jukes here with the 7 Worlds Gaming. Man, I must be good luck here because once my name was called, the game has begun.
I just, they finally showed my real height. That was crazy, man.
No. They definitely shortened you.
Right?
For sure. I think it was the camera angle.
I feel like that was some Lord of the Rings stuff right there.
That's some movie magic,
Yeah.
for sure. I think Jason was standing much closer to the camera than you were.
I think that's what it was.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Something I actually want to talk about real quick. Satan. We've seen him being able to put up good performances. We heard this talk about Coops. We heard this talk about Soulless too. I mean, 6, we saw what he was able to do as well, but I was actually impressed by what Satan was able to do. We saw him being able to get some great angles there in air and goal, which I really enjoyed. And something to point out at a Geek is that Marth, I guess their youngest player now, he was eliminated earlier on in the first 2 matches, but in the 3rd match, he was able to pretty much outlast what he was able to do in the previous 2 matches, and I think it really helped him out in a big way.
I think so too. Let's take a look as we got in zone number 1 coming up. Nice tried and true, right dead center in the middle. Honestly, when it comes to Satan, I think it was that pan he had in match number 2.
Oh,
right when he panned Mad Bulls. I think that's what hyped him up.
That's what gave him the confidence to just be able to pop off and get those angles. But the way something that we are seeing different here. Guess what?
What's that?
We might get some hot drops.
Oh, baby. And you know what? It looks like we're going to see a nice little GK and Mad Bulls rematch here in Rosshawk. So I'm interested to see that. Oh, look at this. Vision Esports all riding together.
They are, and from what we were able to tell there from the map as well, G Gladiators now going back to George, which is definitely interesting. It's going to be causing some issues here as they're able to convert that.
McHugh with the Bison. Getting a nice elimination there on the rotation. Yeah, and that is interesting to see Gladiators go back to George Pool because we saw in the last couple matches, that is their normal drop location.
Yeah.
We saw them head over to Primorsk. And you know another team that likes to land in Primorsk?
Back in PMWI, Vampire Esports.
That's correct. And you know, we did get a chance to talk to Kitsune together before the matches today, and he did say that he was looking to try something different. So
yeah, we seen them being able to try out different stuff. I think we in the first 2 matches, especially in the first 2 matches of Aaron Guild, we're kind of being a lot more patient towards the outside of the zones. They were still spread out a little bit too much for what I like. And I mean, even when we were talking to him, he was saying, right, that I was telling him, please don't be too spread out. He's like, I don't think we're gonna be able to change that.
Yeah, they like to definitely play with those splits, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta learn the hard way. You know what I'm saying? And maybe with the past couple matches that they've been playing, them going back to North George, maybe they're looking to mix it up and kind of go back to what they're used to. We'll see here in a minute. Now we're watching, of course, GK Esports here at the north side of Rosshawk, looking to be a little bit more, I think, lenient with Mad Bulls in this area. So they're just trying to get looted up and most likely going to head over to their next.
Did I see that stat right, too? GK, 7 Illims per match? That is ridiculous, too.
Insane. 36 points on the board right there, right below Fireflux. Fireflux has had one heck of a start to this tournament. No way. They actually are going to be pushing Mad Bulls. Here they go.
They did the fake. They thought that we're going to be going away. You can say, yeah, we're going to be coming back for that. Where's Satan, though? I'm currently not able to see him. They're going to need his help.
Oh, they definitely are. Maybe he's possibly going off for that off angle. Yep, he's going right there on the top of Rosshawk. So he's going to have sight lines on everybody, and his teammates are going to definitely need that information as we're going to start seeing that utility get thrown out on the side of EK. 1 nade is all it takes to open this, and I guarantee you if they do open it up with that knock, they're coming in hard.
You need to be careful, though. This name might hit right here from Mad Bulls, and it is going to hit, and this is going to be the opening. Now it's going to come down to Satan. If he does have a scope, he's going to be able to relay that info that you were talking about.
Ragnar is detracting and going on top of the hill for an off angle, so he is going to be leaving his teammate, and he is going to get knocked on in the process. So, and Ragnar gets beat up. So looks like it's going to be Mad Bulls getting the last laugh here. That's Satan in a 1v1 situation. Can't lose this. He does. So it is a full squad wipe on the side of Mad Bulls. That's sweet revenge right there.
EK going from that side, making it seem like they weren't even want to engage with Mad Bulls, and Mad Bulls say, you know what, if you guys are going to come back, we're definitely going to send you back to the lobby. I did not like how Satan was so far away from his squad too, and with that angle that you were talking about, pretty much that school mountain, if you want to call it, by Rosshawk, he needed some scopes. And I don't think this early on, I mean, you have to get so lucky to get some good scopes to be even relay any kind of info to your teammates.
It was definitely a bold split, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, when you see Satan take that hill, then not to mention they were like, oh, we were so confident. Let's get Ragnar to take another off angle on top of it. Then boom. Once one got naded, it was the perfect timing for Mad Bulls, and they capitalized it, which was good. I think that's going to help their confidence a lot going into these future matches.
I'm glad you mentioned that because we heard the Des mention it too. I mean, in the last Erangel, I think it's the last one too, they were able to push into a team and got absolutely destroyed. So this is definitely going to be a confidence booster for them. We'll see if it'll actually reflect in as the game continues on. And something that I'm enjoying here out of some of these teams is that they are being a little bit more patient. We've been seeing a bit of a difference, right? Their pacing of the game. Fireflux, I feel like that they have showcased that so well today, whether it was controlling that OP dip that we saw at one point.
Oh, yeah.
Picking and choosing those fights, I feel like that style that they were able to see out of Vampire Esports during PMWI, they're trying to mimic that here in PMRC.
I'll tell you one thing I'm seeing in familiar is Solus picking up that mini. Right, I talked to a lot of the players out here after watching Vampire just put on a clinic with that mini before, and we're seeing it here now. And I mean, Solus has been dominating with it, and he's definitely the elimination leader here in this match, and I think that is a big reason why.
And it comes down to how confident the players are with that mini, right? I mean, when we were talking to Kitsune as well, he said that he didn't even want to get close to it because if he got into a close engagement, it was going to completely backfire on him. So it comes down to how confident the player is going to be with the mini. And I mean, if they are confident, if they are willing to carry it throughout the whole match, we've seen what they've been able to do.
I think you have to look at the numbers. And if you start to see teams and players just really dominate with it, no matter who you are, you have to take it into consideration. I mean, we saw the big shift with the DBS, and obviously that's been huge. Coming up soon, though, that's not the DBS isn't going to be as strong as it once was. And with seeing how dominant the mini has been from long range, especially not just from taking out teams, players, but even stealing eliminations. It's just been so huge.
Jukes, are you excited that the DBS is not going to be that strong as we wait here for the circle to kind of close down and teams to set themselves up?
Man, I'm excited the day the bolt action comes out heavy. So I'm still waiting on that day. When that day comes, you're going to see me jumping for joy, my wrists on fire from doing cartwheels all day long.
Are you going to get throwback to like 2018 when you were a pro? Getting those headshots? Best sniper in A, right? 2018?
Oh, I just want to see some bolt action 360 no scope headshots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know about them 360.
Well, you know what? Even without it, look at this. That plane in the sky, that's a sign right there. That's a sign right there. We're going to see something happen. As this next zone about to pop on over, where is it headed? Is it going to be nice and centered up? Looks like that is most likely. Meanwhile, we see Gladiators still up in North George. This is what they like to do, just kind of do those nice little late rotations. But this zone, we might even get a pachinki finish.
I hope we do. I hope we do. And I'm looking towards the east of the map because Nexus, I mean, this is a team that definitely needs a good match, but right now it's not looking good for them as they are currently stuck in the blue zone, and it's going to be a tough push into this circle as you see everybody now is starting to get inside.
What has been happening with Nexus here today so far? They have not had the start, and hopefully they can kind of turn it around, but with their position right now, it ain't looking too good because all of these POIs are getting taken up instantly as we start to see some teams take on each other in the rotation. Team GQ, oh wow, what a nice shot there.
Regnum Karya, a team that's currently within the top 4 on the overall. Being able to showcase their skills, but I mean, they currently are down 1 player, 1 knocked. Enigma, this is your chance to push. If there was ever a chance to push, this is your chance to push as GQ is starting to back off. They're getting one of their players. They're a party. Actually, you know what, Enigma? I take it back. Don't try to push that. Just back off. There's so many third parties happening here.
It could be worth it, but you're going to have to time it perfectly because you're right. There are so many teams in rotation, and if you get caught slipping, it's going to definitely make things interesting. You can see Coops on that backline. I think they are going to retreat. Meanwhile, Regnum Karya trying to get these eliminations, and it looks like they definitely are. So they are going to get those double. Beautifully done. They're going to use a nade to get it there. And meanwhile, we're going to see Wild get looted up, and I think we're going to see a little bit of a lull from now.
You can see there on the screen, Coops being the lone man as the... as Blank was saying, what was it? The Coopsarang?
The Coopsarang.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. And I mean, we're kind of used to seeing Coops play like this, right? He's usually away from his team. He likes the team to kind of back him up with the angles, and it's something that I wonder if they're, even though they have done that for a long time, I wonder if they need to go back and actually look at some of the stuff that Vampire Esports was doing in regards to like Tony K, because Tony K was supported with some great angles by his teammates. Maybe that's what they need to do. They need to, and I mean, at one point, you know what? Let me back it up a little bit as we're waiting here for some more teams to end up engaging.
Okay.
Maybe instead of Coops moving to a better team, maybe they just need to get certain players that will play those off angles a little bit better in Enigma Galaxy.
I just think it's all about synergy at this point. You know, just kind of understanding each player's play style, figuring out what works best. Look at that. Ooh. Here comes the mini, right?
I said Nexus was going to have a tough.
I'm telling you, it's just been ridiculous as we see a member of the Falcons go down. Now, this is a really good spot on this ridgeline here. And it's obvious why I think we're going to see Nexus make that push. Next zone is going to pop on over. Where will it head to? Will we get that north and central Pachinki finish? Meanwhile, it's completely not taken. I understand why, because this zone is going to go in that direction. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a team like Vision head that way and just kind of hold it down for now.
You know who's currently happy? Enigma Galaxy currently holding that Pachinki Hill. They're going to be able to overlook at so much stuff. And if Coops is able to actually position himself in a good place, he might be able to start picking up some Illims. And you can see Nexus now going for the push of Falcon. Falcons does not want this.
Take a look at this replay here. As we're going to see AZ spin out. Oh, wow. Make some shots and pop in a player right off the buggy. Some nice trades going back and forth as well. I mean, this is a really big location, especially for this circle. Yep. And I'm not surprised to see it in such contention. Meanwhile, we're looking at Mad Bulls taking down Matic. Matic going down, Tixie going down as well. Glad MEU, it's going to go down to the blue zone as well, most likely. Oh, barely getting out those first aids. Those bandages, actually.
Bandages and also those boosts that he had help him out in a big way. And now for Mad Bulls is like, do you want to disengage here or see if you can maybe get that extra Illim? Because they know, they're going to be seeing that buggy, and if they can shoot just one tire, it's going to make his life pretty much hell.
Well, I mean, he's done for already. I mean, because the entire team is gone. It is just MEU trying to get some points for his team. Meanwhile, Mad Bulls starting off so strong, 7 eliminations. Their whole entire squad is up. This could be the game that they have been waiting for. See there at the bottom right, we looked at that trophy. These teams definitely want to put their hands on that. Nexus Gaming is a squad that we expected a lot from here. And starting off first 3 matches, look at them all the way at the bottom with only 2 points.
As we're seeing some of this stuff here, by the way, you were talking about Mad Bulls starting off hot with those 7 Illims. Well, guess what? Today, after 3 matches, they only had 9 points. So yeah, this is definitely going to be a great push for them in the leaderboard. Once it's done, whether they get eliminated now or whatever happens, this is exactly what they need to just build up some confidence too.
Wild with the mini, trying to get some shots downrange up Pachinki. And let's see exactly where the rest of these teams are holding it down. They're all going to be surrounding that Pachinki Hill. Slaughterhouse taken as well.
It's just going to be a bunch of patience here.
Oh, yeah. Stage 3, this is where things start to get interesting. This is that planning phase. You want to definitely get set up as we're starting to see some trades go back and forth. Volt about to get knocked here. Does lay down to avoid that shot from Wild. I'm telling you, for just destroying your helmet and vest, this mini is just ridiculous. I cannot stress it enough.
Yeah, Wild's just currently keeping Vision there in check, and it's gonna be interesting, right? Because we're gonna have a new circle popping up, and if they're gonna have to push out and they're taking all those shots, it's gonna diminish that armor. It's gonna make it a lot more difficult to get into that circle.
Let's take a look at where the circle is gonna go, as it is about to pop. Will we get that crazy hard shift north and a Pachinki urban finish? That'll make things interesting. And it's still in play, baby. So it's still a chance. Meanwhile, Pachinki Hill is the place to be. Enigma Galaxy holding the south side of it right now. You know, Coops is ready to shoot at anybody that comes his way. There's going to be a lot of teams stressing, especially here on this west side.
Yeah, and I wish Coops would switch positions with Lore. I feel like he would be able to excel a little bit more, get better vision on a lot of the teams that are going to be driving by.
Oh, well, Lower just goes down right now. The Falcon Pushki right there, beautifully done. So as we see, Nexus Gaming, they're barely outside of this circle, and this is a tough hill right here because the next zone does head towards Pachinki Hill, so they're gonna have to cross that road. There's not a lot of cover in that direction. They may have to make a send towards that hill in general. Meanwhile, yeah, we're going to see Gladiators go out early. So one of their rough performances here, maybe they got to go back to Primors.
If I'm Dan, and I'm probably going to be thinking about it, because remember, even though they didn't have to fight anybody in George, it kind of ended up backfiring for them as they try to make it in through the north.
Meanwhile, seeing Brute Force on the rotation. Brand new squad. Here's their first time here at LAN. Meanwhile, we're going to have to see the Falcons try to defend Pachinki Hill. This is a tough spot because you could definitely get shot from that backside.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Enigma Galaxy are going to hold this valley here. And it looks like they're going to rock a split in the meantime. There is that little bit of a tailpipe there that can be a little bit of additional cover. Meanwhile, we're just starting to see those shots come from long range from across the field. So it is going to be Team Falcons controlling this side of Pachinki Hill.
Yeah, we saw Team Falcons do some great things in the earlier matches, too. I mean, this is a team that's currently sitting in 6th place with 20 points. And guess what? They're trying to do what Enigma Galaxy wasn't able to do earlier, which is take advantage of this high ground, take advantage of the people that are going to be moving in, and see if you can get some easy illims, the easy points to add to your tally.
Here's Coops, keeping an eye up on that high ground. He's in a very important position here.
Yep.
He cannot get knocked at all, because if he does, they're going to be able to control that hill completely, and his team is going to be done for. So we'll see how that ends up playing out in just a minute. Meanwhile, we're going to look at Kevin inside of the church near Pachinki. This is going to be a great location to get a lot of vision for his squad. Gangsters currently right now sitting in 11th place with only 13 points. So if the zone goes north for them, they could be in a good position.
They could be, but I think I really don't see it going north for them. I'm currently happy with when we were looking there at Gangsters, I was happy with the Mad Bulls location. They had a nice 2-2 split as well as GQ gets eliminated. You can see Brute Force. Oh, please take the shot.
Oh, the nade. The shot's coming out, but just a little bit too late. Meanwhile, we're going to watch De Muerte. Elementrix trying to find a way of getting his team out of this position, but the nades are coming in hot. And this one's going to punish him as well. Oh, shots coming from all over. How is he going to get out of this one?
Not the position that Muerte wanted to be in, especially when they're trying to throw that nade, and he ended up backfiring for them. But you know, Brute Force, we've been able to see what they did earlier in regards to being able to push on some teams.
Brute Force, first time here at LAN, looking to make a name for themselves here. Got to be able to hold them angles, though. Excuse me, coming into the mix now. They hear the shots. This is all the way on the west side of the map, so they definitely want to control this side and then get an opportunity to third party. That's great, but it's only black-white up. So you can see him just trying to poke out some nades and possibly pick up some eliminations for his team.
And excuse me, he's going to decide to back off. He didn't see an option there to third party, so this is the smart thing. But guess what? If you're going to be rotating, you see Flower Flux in the horizon, and that's a team you don't even want to get close to, considering what they've been able to do in the previous matches. And now De Muerte, a team that definitely needed a good match here after the bad 3 games at the start. Karya trying to see if he's going to be able to respond to somebody. You don't. Oh, here we go. DBS, we were talking about it.
Ugh.
Easy.
Beautifully done there. So nice job from Brute Force, recognizing the heads-up play of being able to take these players out here on the edge. Great job gatekeeping indeed. Now they have to find a way to get into this next circle because the zone is starting to close. This is on the thick side, so it is going to close pretty quickly, but Black-White looking to pick up those eliminations. Goes for the double, isn't able to do it. So, but that knock is going to force a Brute Force player out of the game most likely. Yeah, they're going to leave him, try to hop in this UAZ and find a spot in the zone.
I wonder if they just might have enough time to be able to pick him up. Enigma Galaxy, remember, they were pushed off this Pachinki Hill. Now they're going to have to battle this cars. Great shot there by Raouf. Being able to blow up the car and help that other player get knocked.
Beautifully done here. Now, when does Enigma Galaxy decide to pull the trigger and push this spot? Because if they're able to control this side of the hill, it's good for them. But it's difficult because there are going to be teams right behind them as well. So meanwhile, we're going to watch De Muerte try to get the last laugh on Brute Force, trying to drive into the zone, but gets knocked in the process. And I don't think he's going to be able to pick him up.
If I was him, just sacrifice him. Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to be doing. He's not.
Indecision.
He's going to be going for it. He's going to get spotted. He's going to get shot. No! De Muerte showcasing why they're currently towards the bottom of the leaderboard.
Indecision, that's what I'm saying. You know, one little slip up, one little hesitation is all it takes. And Brute Force take advantage of it. Meanwhile, Enigma Galaxy in that valley on the Pachinki side, not able to hold it down. Definitely a tough spot to defend. Meanwhile, we're back at Pachinki, baby. Here comes Vision. Esports Mon trying to get it done with the DBS. Gets bopped right out the window.
We're talking about GameStars earlier. If they were going to have to take on Mabbles, guess what? They say, you know what? We'll take on Vision first. Are they going to be able to clear him out there with that Molly? Great stuff out of GameStars.
Beautifully done from them. So they are going to be able to hold Pachinki. Next zone is about to pop. So meanwhile, we're seeing a ton of congestion. So many teams on that southwest side. And it is going to be an all-out war there.
A team that's been quiet, Fireflux, guess what? They just got one of their players eliminated, and they're currently sitting with 0 ilms. But now we're going to be starting seeing here some knocks from Fireflux. This is when they start picking it up. Remember, I was talking about their pacing. So far, they wait to actually take onto a fight. This is exactly what they're doing now. Now they see the option to take onto a fight, and they're going to go for it, taking on Ragnam Karya.
Here they go. Fireflux with this little valley here is such a great spot in this zone. They do have the defense of it, and lucky for them, there isn't any team on either side of them yet. So they're not having to worry about it. Meanwhile, we're going to see the Falcons. Next zone does pop out. It does go south, so we're not going to get that Pachinki finish, but it is going to be on the hillside of Pachinki as we watch Next Ruya try to climb the mountain.
They are going to be trying to climb it, and you know one team that's currently kicking themselves watching this is going to be Enigma Galaxy, as they pretty much had control of that. They just decided to do a 2-2 split that ended up backfiring. Next Ruya now back to the blue zone. What are they going to do here? At one point, you're going to have to make the push before Fireflux gets too close. Gangsters, one of the players ends up getting knocked. No, man, what are you doing?
Oh, you hate to see that, but Fireflux are in the mix, and here they come. It's going to be a big push onto Next Ruya as the zone is going to start closing in the next 8 seconds. They don't want to push just yet, so Solke is waiting, most likely trying to hope for a third-party situation, and that's exactly what just might happen here because Falcon is going into it with Next Ruya.
Next Ruya trying to take control over that high ground, trying to see if they can at least rotate around, but all these teams need to be careful. We saw what Fireflux was planning on doing. You can see there, Next Ruya being able to knock another player from Falcons.
Next Ruya definitely with the advantage, but now here comes Fireflux, and they're having to force them into looking in too many different directions. Axer not able to get it done there at the end, and Seawolf is going to be alive now. Fireflux may have waited a little bit too long. Next Ruya are going to have full eyes locked in this direction.
And I think they were forced to wait a little bit too long as that brute force player was pretty much gatekeeping them. He wasn't allowing them to make that push, and he ended up, backfiring because nobody ended up getting knocked there from Next Ruya anyways.
That delay, that little slight delay could cost them big time. Meanwhile, we're looking at Gangsters holding that pipeline I was talking about a little bit earlier. This is the spot that I kind of expected Enigma Galaxy to kind of hold on, but they tried to hold the valley to themselves, bit off a little bit more than they could chew. And we'll see how Gangsters look to handle it. Meanwhile, Fireflux, top of the leaderboards with a nice knock onto Next Ruya. Solke, wow, dancing back and forth, avoiding all the shots, except here comes the DBS. It's back and forth. Meanwhile, oh, that is going to be, Fireflux eliminated.
Guess what? Some of the other teams currently that were trying to chase that first place are going to be happy because they only ended up getting 1 ilm, which is... It's great if you're trying to catch up to them at the moment. One team we really haven't gotten a chance to talk about, Random Karya. Guess what? They've been super patient, and they were starting to make a push there. I think they were able to collect some ilms. They currently have 3, but only 2 players standing. Next Ruya has been able to play this hill so well, Hot Jukes.
Yes, they have. But you know what? We're looking at road to glory here. This nade could be huge. Next Ruya so close to them. Road to glory definitely have the advantage positionally. They just got to be able to spot exactly where they are, and Rio has no clue that there's 2 people right next to this vehicle.
And I think it has to do with Frozen using all those smokes, trying to get that distraction out of them. And remember, we heard that Des talk about Frozen. We heard that we wanted to see more out of him. Well, he might be able to showcase it here as Nexus ends up getting eliminated there with just 3 ilms. Look at Next Ruya. So close to me.
Taking his time. Playing it very quietly right now. Next Ruya is not trying to give up their position at all. Oh, actually, he does end up going down, and he tries to drive off, and it looks like he is able to make it to safety just at the last second.
At the worst time possible, too, when Frozen wasn't even nowhere near being able to get an angle there. If he would have been able to get that angle, something different might have happened there for Next Ruya, but now they need to be careful because Ragnam Karya is going to have to start pushing out of this. Also, Mad Bulls is going to be keeping an eye on them. And guess what? We forgot about the Brute Force player.
He's still in the game. 8 eliminations for Brute Force. Man, this squad is keeping true to their name, just surviving by just that. Let's see. Repod?
Repod, we heard him talk about it.
We did.
The nerves don't get to him. So far, he's not seeming like it.
Oh, but I'll tell you what, Regnum Kari is about to be coming right into this direction. He knows it. So here goes the laydown. He does have that ghillie suit. And I think right now he's just trying to buy as much time as he can. He has a beautiful little spot there with just enough cover. He might be able to get under the action. Meanwhile, Frozen holding the shack is going to get evicted from it as we see Regnum Kari push into this position.
And that's what we want to see out of Regnum Karya, right? They were in that building for such a long time that they needed to make a push, and now Gangsters is going to be able to help them out as well, as they're currently taking some shots here on Mad Bulls. Mad Bulls not where they want to be. I think they took a little bit too long to exit Pochinki.
And Gangsters are still holding the spot so well and picking up every single point they can see from these teams and players just trying to get to safety from Pochinki. Oh, Regnum Karya in the shack just getting absolutely abused. It's going to be tough for them to be able to get it done. Meanwhile, we're going to see Mad Bulls eliminated. 4 squads remaining here in match number 4.
But for Mad Bulls, I mean, you got to be happy, right? A team that was coming into this game with 9 points, being able to come out with so many amount of villains, that's going to be a confidence booster. Hopefully, even though we're not going to be playing Erangel in the next match, we're going to be going to Miramar. We'll see what they can do there. But let's keep an eye on Gangsters. Currently a good spot. Can he finesse this? Nade.
Thread the needle. Oh! Got him! Beautifully done there from Gangsters. They have this entire side of the map to themselves. This is definitely their game to win. All they have to do is finish strong. Meanwhile, we still have one member up from next Riyadh, but it's Road to Glory, the only team that can stop them now. And Jafar is overextended from his team. They realize it. Road to Glory is trying to capitalize on this position.
And if there was ever a chance for Road to Glory to make the balance go to him, this is it. Jafar overextended way too much. You know his team is currently screaming at him.
That is tough. He tried to go for an off angle, but it was just a little bit too off the beaten path, and Road to Glory capitalized on it immediately. So they do have some interesting angles. Honestly, it could go either way. It's really up to this next knock. Groza, from this position, can do a lot of damage to Gangsters. He needs to go and finish Jafar and eliminate that intel from them as well.
Meanwhile, while we're seeing those two teams, guess what? Next Ruya, for only one player, waiting patiently. We've seen what one player was able to do earlier from Brute Force. Can he play that spoiler role? Is he gonna wait for the right moment to third-party this fight? Meanwhile, Road to Glory, right now, they do have some good angles, but they gotta watch out for that circle, because once that closes in, that blue zone is gonna start pushing them forward, and they need to make sure they start planning something, as we see Gangsters just waiting and seeing what's going to happen.
Yekta 10K has been so patient here. He has not shot a shot. He is just waiting for his time to strike. Yeah, Road to Glory are looking for a different angle here to get into this next circle. Now, this is zone number 8. The zone's not going anywhere from here. It is going to close down to nothing after this. Groza does get a couple hit markers here as he tries to get some finishes. He's going to go a little bit further down and use that broken vehicle to give him a little bit more sight lines. Meanwhile, I mean, this is going to be an all-out battle. Oh, Yekta finally pulls the trigger, but that gets turned on by Kevin.
Kevin said, "You gonna shoot at me? Guess what? I'm gonna send you to the lobby. I'm not even gonna allow you to third party later on." And meanwhile, that allowed Road to Glory to set themselves up for this fight and see if they can get some angles.
Both of these teams getting really close to being in utility range of each other, so that's going to definitely make things more difficult. Road to Glory hopping in the vehicle, trying to get that extra third-party perspective and try to get a little bit more sight line. So they're gonna drive up a little bit here. Actually, they're gonna full send it up on the hill. And if they're able to take out Kevin, they got this game in the bag.
They should be able to get him, because remember, they do have one player that was looking at the 2 players from Gangstars that was gonna be holding them off. They need to make sure they clear Kevin, and they need to make sure they clear him quick. Here we go.
Rio's gonna run him over! Oh my gosh! Rio running over the off angle, and now Road to Glory is literally doing what their name is, but it's just down to 2 players.
It is. A 2v2. Road to Glory. You gotta be able to win this one.
Rio pushing up a little bit off the beaten path, though. They cannot get caught in a 1v1 situation. They have to group up. He's got the DBS. He could definitely do this if they make a mistake. He comes in with a vehicle as a distraction.
Oh, he gets one.
He goes for the second. Oh, so close. But Rio clutching it up for his squad. Beautifully executed right there at the end. That was so close.
That was beautiful there from Road to Glory. I really thought he was about to snap on that other player and be able to